From Babylon to Timbuktu, a history of ancient black races, including the Black Hebrews, by Rudolph R. Windsor. The West African Jews during the slave trade. The black Jews who migrated to the Sudan from the north converged with the Jews migrating from the eastern Sudan to the countries of the Niger River. It is a known fact that the Jews and Judaism were in Africa 1500 years before Islam, and that everywhere the Arabs went, the Jews were there. The black Jews guided the Arabs and Moors into Spain and acted as interpreters. When the Muslims came into the Sahara, they found that the black Jews stationed on all the trade routes, and I can positively say that where Mohammedanism is currently prevailing in the Sudan, Judaism once had been dominant. There is much more proof and still much more to be revealed by scholars that there existed prior to the slave trade and subsequent to its many Jewish tribes, colonies, and kingdoms in West Africa. The black African Hebrews had settlements not only in the interior of Africa, but they also had communities on the west coast of Africa from Morocco to Angola. In the year 1856, Dr. J.L. Wilson wrote his history of Western Africa. He transmits to us the composite religious culture of some of the inhabitants of Senegambia, or Senegal and Guinea. In Senegal, he said, there is a complete melody of paganism, Judaism, and Mohammedanism, and it is difficult to say which of the three occupies the most prominent place or exerts the greatest influence upon the character of the people. However, the sentiment of the inhabitants regarding this multi-religious mixture was that the combination of the three religions furthered the welfare of all. Wilson also informs us that in northern Guinea, there is a conglomeration of Judaism and paganism combined, and in southern Guinea, there is a combination of Judaism, paganism, and some traces of Christianity. In northern Guinea, or in Portuguese Guinea, Judaism is more highly practiced. Some of the outstanding rites or purifications, the observances of the new moon, a designated period of the weeping for the dead, during which time they wear sackcloth and ashes, bloody animal sacrifices, with the careful sprinkling of the blood upon the doorposts and the altars, the division of tribes into different families, frequently into 12 parts, the 12 tribes of Israel, formal processions, circumcision, and various other practices, probably of Hebrew derivation. A few of these rituals, especially circumcision, might have been derived from the Muslims, but we are forced to consider the entire congregations of the Hebrew cultural traits, which is indicative of the Hebrew religion. Like the black Jews in America, some of the Jews of Guinea don't remember their original nationality. This deplorable ignorance is attributed to various causes: the fall of the Hebrew kingdoms, the lack of communication with Jewish educational centers, intense persecution, and a deliberate blotting out of the mind their true nationality. Thus, Nahum Slouch said this about the Islamized Jews he met: in most cases, these Hebrews by race and Muslims by faith seek to hide their origin, which has become a burden to them. And another example, the persecution of the black Jews in Portugal was so ruthless and frequent that Cecile Roth tells us the Jews did not divulge to their children the secret of their religion until they had attained the age of reason. Conclusion. According to biblical prophecy, the black Hebrews were supposed to have gone into slavery and captivity. Thus, we read of the prophet Jeremiah saying, Judah is gone into captivity because of affliction, and because of great servitude she dwelleth among the heathen. She findeth no rest. all her persecutors overtook her between the straits. Prophecy is similar to history in one respect. That is, it repeats itself. Duality in prophecy has been recognized by many scholars. As the historical evidences indicate, the black Hebrews were snatched from the west coast of Africa and sold into captivity.